keeping your distance. I thought we were better. We can try to just hide from the pain by building our castle. We can build them again and again, and we can feel nothing. And I know that you're feeling alone, and we can do better. So help me to break through the stone. Help me to break through. And I thought that we could be something, losing our vision, but we can't just let it consume us. We can try to just hide from the pain by building our castle. We can build them again and again, and we can feel nothing. And I know that you're feeling alone, and we can do better. So help me to break through the stone. Help me to break through.
Promise me promise me
I feel like paying for nothing. Maybe you should pay yourself for today.
Oh, baby, it's episode 7.
We're starting off with daggers. Let's go. What a great way.
What's up, y'all?
Hello, hello, hello.
Top of the Monday to you?
Yeah. Some of us have been up all day.
Yeah, I have too.
Mm-hmm. So, how was your weekend?
Amazing.
Yeah?
Yeah.
What all did you do?
Went to a concert. Went to like 15 different bars. Lived my life.
Yeah. Were you dropped on a keg this time?
No keg stand accidents this week, but
Good.
and I
Your
also
eyes
went to the
even starting to
GP.
look better.
Yeah, my eye is looking better, huh?
You don't look like you got into a bar fight anymore.
36-year-old Howell, Michigan man dies of a keg stand accident. Next, Channel 7 News. Got it.
Nice.
No,
Sir.
I lived this weekend. It was a great weekend, and I know you said you had a good weekend too.
Yeah, it's actually my dad's birthday today, so happy birthday, Dad.
Happy birthday, Dad.
Yeah, so Saturday I went out to their campground that they were at, and we had some steak with some potatoes and salad. Steak and taters. Then yesterday I proceeded to sleep until 2 p.m. Decide why go to a GP at 3 p.m. and just hung out at home.
Yeah, I got to the GP yesterday around then, and people were just, it was pretty dead.
Yeah, the main event only had like 700 people.
No. It had 600 people. You were told, maybe you got Channel Fireball's numbers.
Yeah,
I think it
was Chad that told me that number.
Yeah,
it was on his Twitter, I think.
Negatory.
It was Donovan. Because Donovan was tweeting about how
dead it was in there.
Yeah, he almost prized the GP not day twoing. Think about that.
What a big old pile of dog shit that is, isn't it?
Really killing it, Channel Fireball.
Yeah, man. And that's something we'll talk to when we get into it, but man.
When we get into the getting?
Yeah, but I got a lot to say about that. Got a lot to say about that.
Well, that's all I'm going to say about that. But you know what I am going to say more about? Our fun fact this week.
Oh, yeah, our fun fact this week.
Can't skip over the facto funs.
No, I love it. So we didn't even pull up the set.
I didn't know what to pull up because we can't really pull up a set on Gather.
Yeah, you're right.
Maybe we can just pull up a picture. I don't know.
Nah. So the fun fact, and I'll go with it.
Yeah, hit it.
I think this was cool.
Hit it, Fergie.
Yeah, the set with the least amount of cards in it, we found out, was Arabian Nights.
Correct.
And it has how many, Richie?
78 cards is all.
78 cards.
That's crazy.
It's very crazy.
Could you imagine if they did that nowadays?
78 cards?
78 cards. 78 of them being planeswalkers, knowing Wizards of the Coast.
Yeah, all 3 dropping below planeswalkers at uncommon and common. Yeah.
They'd kill it.
Yeah, but that's pretty fun. It's a pretty fun fact. I like that.
I enjoyed it. It was something we found last week, but we thought the Spawn Sire was cooler.
Yeah, Spawn Sire.
The other question I have, Josh.
What?
Do you think our fans watching right now can find any Arabian Nights cards on momsbasementgames.tcgplayerpro.com?
Yeah, I'm positive, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I was in the...
Do we have any Aladdin's lamps?
We probably got like an HP Aladdin's lamp. So let's bounce over here and let you guys see.
Bounce.
We've got even if you guys are watching on YouTube, or if you're watching us live, we've got this new little marker here that we made. It just says that's our little Magic in the Making logo up in the top there. It's all coming together, slowly but surely.
Who's Shirley?
No, damn it! I knew you were gonna go there.
Are you getting rid of me for someone named Shirley?
I wish I could. I hate you. I love you, Richard.
The feeling's mutual.
Yeah,
both hate and love.
Yeah. Now, Mom's Basement Games, they are our sponsor, and by they, me and you.
Yeah,
you sponsor us.
Yeah.
And that's a good thing.
That's it, right? Just me and you.
Yeah, just me and you. Yeah. So, and everybody over at Mr. Warren's house. Yeah. All those
the real
workers.
Mr. Warren.
Yep, all those hard workers slaving away, pumping all those orders out, which Another cool thing that's going on is we got the TCG account going 7 days a week now. We don't have to shut it off. I don't know if I talked about that last week. I don't think I did.
I don't think you did. I can't count to 7, so I don't remember.
Yeah, it's pretty...
Actually, wait, what am I saying? I can count to 7. I just skip a couple numbers.
Yeah, this is episode 7, so I hope you can count that high.
Well, 1, 2, 7. That's how I count most of the time when I play Magic.
Yeah, absolutely. But
you're just counting by 3s.
Yeah, so we got this thing rolling, man. Hopefully we're gonna be doing more orders each week. We're 20,000 plus orders. I think the last time I checked was 22,000 lifetime, and everybody, when they look at the order count to see, okay, can I trust these guys? Do I feel comfortable that they're going to send me my cards? You usually look for that 50,000 plus, because it doesn't go past 50,000.
So you're saying we got rookie numbers? We need to get them numbers up?
No. We're in the farm leagues right now. We're at half of the power sellers on TCG Player. So
Does that make us the power bottoms?
We are a power bottom, but we're going to be power sellers here in about, I'd say, 6 months.
Yeah.
Yeah,
End of the year?
We'll have that 50,000 mark. So that's pretty cool stuff.
Nice.
I like that. I'm very proud of us.
So is that the goal then? End of the year, 50K?
Yes, absolutely.
I think we can do it.
I think we can do it too. So I got a few pictures.
I don't want to
here.
do that though.
Now you SoundClouders, you guys can't see this, but you can you can pretend that you can see it. Just close your eyes right now.
I think if we go back in time, Josh couldn't see this either.
No, I could see this. And think about a filter of flowers, beautiful flowers. Are your eyes closed? I hope so. Beautiful flowers are over my head this weekend. And Richie's closing his eyes.
You told me to imagine.
And I have these Elton John glasses with flowers over the top of it.
Ah! Get out of my head!
And I was in Fountain Square, Indiana, so we went and saw a Three Doors Down concert, 15 Years Too Late, which was very cool. Also, Soul Asylum was there. That was very neat.
We're
the lead singer of Soul Asylum, I'm not 100% sure he had all of his teeth, or if he had stopped doing drugs yet, because it didn't look like it. He was
Did he maybe get the drugs from Three Doors Down?
I don't think so. Everybody in that band's supposed to be sober now.
No, like 3 doors down from the venue.
Yeah, you might be right. So yeah, these were some pictures. We went to Wild Eggs. I don't know if you guys have ever been to that place, but that place is pretty
that place is wild.
It's got phenomenal breakfast. They got the everything muffins right there. We had 5 of them. Had some orange juice, freshly squeezed. There you go. There's Soul Asylum. There's the lead singer. If you guys, for those of you just listening, this guy, he just basically looks homeless. He looks like he got off that runaway train and never came back.
Is he a little runaway?
He is. So, yeah, it's cool stuff. But I enjoyed the weekend, and hopefully you guys had a good weekend. For those of you 600 to 700 people, maybe a few of you that are listening, you made it out to the GP. I hope you guys had a good time too. But
I did not.
We are going to get into who was on top this week, as always. And who was on top was
Erin Barrich.
Erin Barrich. Now I have not met this person.
She is a very nice person. I've talked to her at multiple events.
Got some blue tips at the end there. I like those blue tips.
She won an invitational a couple. Gosh, it's about a year ago now.
Okay.
It was the first one that I was at.
Okay, cool. What'd she win with?
I can't remember the standard deck off the top of my head.
Okay.
But I know it was Infected Modern. Because she was the one that
brought it back.
Yeah.
Spiked
when
it.
Everyone was just like, "Oh, is Infect still good?"
No, in fact, no one was saying is Infect still good. They were saying this deck's not playable.
Great. Yeah.
And then now they're like, okay, Infect good. But this past weekend was standard, and it was in Worcestershire sauce, like what we talked about last week. And so let's bring her deck list up, right?
Yeah.
Mono red
aggro.
So Richie, you know about this deck. You're pretty intimate with this deck. This deck got you to a Pro Tour, right?
It was actually Eldrazi that got me to the Pro Tour.
Okay.
This deck did carry me to a couple RPTQs. Not quite this list. This list is actually really
this is
really
way
M20
different.
list.
Yeah, this is very
really
different.
M20 what's the word I'm trying to think of? Influenced. There we go.
Yeah. So it looks like Chandra's Spitefire is
Spitfire.
Oh, Spite. No, that's not how.
No,
There's no E.
Yeah.
Spitfire. So flying 1/3 whenever an opponent is dealt non-combat damage. Chandra's. You're supposed to say it.
Spitfire.
There you go. Gets +3/+0.
I thought maybe you were gonna give it a crack this time.
+3/+0 until end of turn. So it becomes a 4/3.
Yeah.
That's
like,
pretty cool.
Well, if you do it again, it's a 7/3.
Ooh.
And then it's 10/3.
Nice.
And then your opponent's dead.
Yes. Then there was Ember Hauler, Fanatical Firebrand, Gitu Lavamancer, Goblin Chain Whirler, Runaway Steamkin. Now those are all 4-ofs, and there's 24 creatures in the deck with the basic 20 mountain package.
Easiest deck list you'll ever write in your life.
Yes. Yeah. It's very difficult to mess this up. And then you run a 1 Experimental Frenzy, 4 Lightning Strikes, 4 Shocks, 4 Light Up the Stage, and 3 Skewers. Now, Richie, tell me, and those who are listening, why are you going to run 3 Skewers and 1 Experimental Frenzy? Why break up those 4-ofs?
So it's because you want the 4 Frenzies in the 75. It's nice to have 1 in the main. It combos pretty hard with Steamkin, and it's also just nice to have a little bit of late game. You know, you never know how Standard's going to go, if you're going to go late, if you're going to just try to kill your opponent, you know.
Yeah, because they could sit and they could waste all of their spells on trying to kill you, trying to kill your creatures, burn them away, or whatever they're doing.
They can kill your Spitfires.
Yes, they could. And so you maybe need that to draw that Experimental Frenzy to kind of get yourself back in the game.
Mm-hmm.
So I like that. Then there's 3 more of those in the sideboard, like you said. There's 4 in the 75. You got 3 Fries, which this card's really cool. So
it's Fairy out of here.
Yeah, it's Combust. But
well, it's better.
It is better. And so Fry's a new M20 card, and it has the same CMC as Combust, which is 1 red and a colorless. It says the spell can't be countered. Fry does 5 damage to target creature or planeswalker that's white or blue, which really, really matters.
Do you think this means Combust will never be a quarter?
Yes, I don't think it'll ever. I think it died when... What was the other card? The 1-drop red one.
Rending Valley.
I think it died when Rending Valley
But this
printed.
one kills Teferi.
Yes. Now, Combust was actually what? It just killed creatures.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so... Now, if they could have errated it and done this to it and just put Planeswalker on there.
Well, that's a lot of errata.
Yeah, exactly. So they were just like, fuck it, card doesn't exist anymore, print Fry. So the Chandra Acolyte of Flame is
Snapcaster Mage
is in the sideboard, and this little beauty. This is what? This is middle school Chandra.
Yeah.
Yep, we're getting it right.
Look at you.
Yep, we're getting it right. So middle school Chandra's in here.
We'll teach you what magic is eventually.
That's right. And 3 Tybalt
Yeah.
are in the sideboard. Very, very sexy. And then you got your 4 Lava Coils, which are just going to basically help you get those creatures out of the way, and those maybe even this is probably a mirror match card.
I think it's probably more of a hedge for like Arclight Phoenix.
Okay.
Maybe she was expecting a lot of Arclight on the weekend.
Okay, yeah. So you're just getting rid of that, exiling that creature, and then that way they don't get that copy that comes back.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Cool. So yeah, that was that's standard for the top. We could kind of give you some other things here in the top too, in case you're interested. You've got Mono Blue Aggro, Teamer Elementals, which we went over before the podcast started, which it's a pretty neat list. Richie's not sold on Teamer Elementals. He thinks it might just be kind of cute right now.
Yeah.
Much like how the Mono Green list was when 19 came out, right? With the what's that mirror? That horse. What is that horse? That 5-drop? Vinemere. A lot of people were just playing Mono Green. They were just jamming it because it was just a thing. And I can kind of see a parallel between that Mono Green list that came out with the last core set and this Teamer Elemental list, where it's just like, okay, let's try to curve into fatties and then see what happens.
I'm just not sold on Risen Reef being as powerful as everyone's saying it is.
Yeah, I mean...
Like, the card's good, but, like, it just dies so easily. And, like,
Yeah, it's just a 1/1.
a 1/1 isn't a threat is the other thing. Like, everyone compares it to Rogue Refiner, but there's a big difference between a 1/1 and a 3/2.
Yeah, there is. And here, for those of you that don't know what Risen Reef is, we talked about it. It's a blue-green, colorless elemental. It says, whenever Risen Reef or another elemental enters the battlefield under your control, look at the top card of your library. If it's a land card, put it onto the battlefield tapped. If you don't put the card onto the battlefield tapped, put it into your hand. So this card just generates a lot of help with card draw. It gets you ramping, gets you going. So if you're not playing against those decks that have a lot of spot removal, or if you're not playing against mono red, this card can probably take over the game. Am I correct by saying that?
Yeah, like it can definitely go kind of crazy in like the mid-range matchups.
Yes,
but
I think this is kind of that mid-range card that really just you just blow people out with this card if it stays. So I think maybe Chris Johnson had this thing stick one too many times throughout the day, and that's kind of what got him there.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty cool to see Mono Blue took second place. Mono Blue aggro.
God, I love that.
But I mean, Ross Merriam was the pilot, and I always tend to let people know, hey, if you got a great pilot behind a subpar deck, or a deck that maybe hasn't seen a whole lot of play lately.
This deck got a lot of influence from M20 though. And I think that's the big thing.
Let's click on it and see what it got.
Spectral Sailor.
Spectral Sailor. What's that? 1 blue, 1/1, flash, flying, pay 4 draw card? Oh.
So it's a little bit of late game.
Yeah.
It lets you... It's
your Risen Reef.
Well,
mid-rangey-ish.
Kind of. The biggest thing is, like, it lets you hold up, like, your dive downs, your ops, your spell pierces with it at the same time.
It's very cool, too, because, like, if you are, let's say, late game or mid to late game, you can activate this thing to draw a dive down in response to them popping something.
It also just, like, it lets you play Lookout's Dispersal, which is a really powerful counter spell.
Yes.
Because it upped your pirate count.
Yep. Very cool. So some of the other decks, actually one other deck that took 4th and 5th, which is very cool, is Vampires. So for those of you out there that maybe you guys love Tribal and you've loved Vampires since what? Zendikar? Zendikar was big. That was the big block for Vampires, was Zendikar. You had
you're out of my time.
Yeah, I'm in a time machine that you weren't there for. But we had Hex Mage.
The Vampires I remember is from like Innistrad.
Yeah. But it was a good time, man. Vampires actually did something back then, and that was pretty cool. But it's cool to see him back. You've got a Dondo Vanguard, Champion of Dusk.
Did we ever hit record?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Legion Lieutenant, Knight of Even Legion, Sky Marcher, Aspirant, Vicious Conquistador. Man, these are some names right here. Vana, Butcher of Megan. So those are all your vampires. And then you got the new Sorin on M20, the Mythic. He's pretty cool. You got Gideon Blackblade and Ajani, Adversary of Tyrants, which I really like the new Ajani.
Yeah, he's really good.
Yeah, I think he is. So
having an Unearth on his, like a baby Unearth on his minus is pretty big.
Yeah, and I think basically what carried this deck is probably the Legion's Landing. This card is super powerful, very powerful, especially against those mid-range strategies where you can just make more dudes, right?
Mm-hmm.
What is the flip side say? I guess we're never gonna know what the flip side says.
You can tap it for a plains, or you can tap it a plains and 2 colorless and make a 1/1.
Ah, okay, yeah. So all you're doing is just generating bodies. Yeah. So I think that card probably most likely that and some of the planeswalkers just landing those really powerful planeswalkers just really got it there. So so that was standard for the weekend. Now let's take a look at what happened.
Well, we can talk about the standard classic before we jump into modern.
Okay, yeah, sure. Absolutely. I mean, I just don't want to talk about it more standard.
Well, we gotta talk about who got first in this.
Oh, I know that guy.
Yeah.
Is he gonna stop winning or no? Is he just like
probably not?
I'm done. I'm done, you guys. Like,
he's like, I'm gonna make sure you guys have to talk about me every week.
Okay, so Mr. Zach Allen, which we've had him. He's on. We did a YouTube video with him. He's been on the podcast before, but he ran Bant Mass Manipulation. So let's take a look at this thing. The old new Cavalier of Thorns, which is that 5-drop new Elemental Knight that's running rampant in these Elemental decks. What is this? Frilled Mystic. This is old.
Mystic Snake.
Yeah, Mystic Snake. This is the new version.
Mm-hmm.
Hydroid Crisis, which this card is just basically one of the most powerful cards in Standard. Am I correct about saying that?
Yeah.
Land of War Elves, again, super powerful card. And Paradise Druid. So those are the creatures. You got 4 Nissa, who shakes the world, and 4 Teferi, Time Reveler, which this card is absolutely absurd. 2 Prison Realm, 4 Growth Spiral, 2 Drawn from Dreams, 2 Entrancing Melody, and 3 Mass Manipulation. So tell us how this deck works, Richie.
Yeah, so this is very similar to like the deck that I was playing last season, where you're the ramp deck, you're trying to go above everybody, and you're really carried by Nissa doubling your mana. You're carried by, the fact that we have a 1-mana Dork and Land War Elves. Mm-hmm. And the fact that we actually have decent disruption that that you get rewarded for ramping. Like playing a turn 2 Teferi is like really strong.
Yeah, dude.
And
then War Elves into turn 2 Teferi, Time Reveler, that's really gross.
Yeah. And Teferi's Plus actually synergizes very well with like Growth Spiral, because you can hold up Growth Spiral or Frilled Mystic or Drawn from Dreams when you plus your Teferi, kind of trying to make like a little dig through time almost.
I like that.
Mm-hmm.
What about some of these sideboard options that he chose?
Yeah,
what do you think about that?
Knight of Autumn's really good. That card's super versatile. Shifting Ceratops is insane against any blue deck.
It's a new dinosaur, baby.
You and your dinosaurs.
Yeah, buddy.
This card has been seeing a lot of talk, though.
Yeah,
for good reason.
Yeah, I think this card's going to be really, really strong in Standard.
Aether Gust is an interesting one. It makes a lot of sense, though. Just like being able to put something on top of your opponent's deck or on bottom of their deck, depending on how you want to get rid of it, is pretty strong.
Wow, that's really cool, because you can just dunk somebody's Planeswalker that they just paid 5 mana for and just put that thing right on top of their library, or put it under, right? It says.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's nice.
Or you can like tuck their Frenzy in mono red.
Yeah.
This card has a lot of potential.
Yeah.
I mean, Negate's Negate. I don't really need to talk about that card. Tolsimir's, that's for the mono red matchup.
You're just putting bodies on the ground, right?
Blockers. It gains 3 life too.
Yeah.
Just does like legit everything.
Yep, everything you want to do. You got Tameo, Collector of Tales.
Yeah, just a little, extra help against mid-range and control. Being able to pick up your cards again. Also, like, not being able to get Thought Erasured.
Okay.
And then Time Wipe is kind of interesting in this. I'd really like to talk to Zach about why he played this card. It seems kind of non-bowish to play a board wipe in this deck, but I'm sure it came in handy.
So, Time Wipe, for those of you that don't know, which I didn't know what this card does, it says it's two colorless, 2 white, a blue. It is a sorcery. It says return a creature you control to its owner's hand, which in parentheses for this deck would say Hydroid Crisis, right?
Yeah, it could be Cavalier.
Yeah, okay.
Frilled Mystic if you want to get cheeky.
Yeah, and then destroy all creatures. So it's just a reset, and you get the bonus of being able to pick up the one creature that matters at the time. Mm-hmm. So I think this card is probably everything a board wipe wants to be right now, because you get to pick up that creature that you need and then just dunk the rest. So it seems pretty cool. I like there's some temples in here for the mana base. There's a Temple of Mystery, Was there any other temples? No, just the 2 Temple of Mystery. So that's pretty cool. Seeing that comeback of those temples in Standard.
Yeah, I don't know how I feel about tap lands in this deck.
Well, because of the Land of War Elves and the Paradise Druid. I like the fact that there's just 2 of them in there.
Yeah, I don't know. I could see it. I really hate it. I tried a Guild Gate to try to make this deck's mana base better. Because that's the biggest problem, is this deck's mana base is kind of sketchy.
Okay.
But it felt pretty bad, but...
Yeah, so the...
Temples are strictly better than Guild Gates.
The rest of the list here, we've got Orzhov Vampires again, Esper Hero, Azorius Aggro, Bant Ramp, Jund Dinosaurs, oh baby, we played Standard, Temur Elementals, and Vampires again. So it looks like Vampires is a legitimate strategy in Standard.
It's crazy. You give a deck good 1 mana plays with a 2 mana Lord and it gets good.
Yes, very cool. I like that. All right, so let's move to something that
we can go back to
maybe people play a little bit more, which is Modern, right?
Yeah,
I think so.
I mean, I think Standard sees a lot of play, especially with a new set coming out. But Modern is definitely the big one around here.
Yeah, I think so. Miles Wilson took first with Eldrazi Tron, and we will click on that list. We'll also click on this burn list because those are what we play, Richie. Isn't that cool? They both top 8'd. They, maybe they're a little bit better pilots than us, or maybe not. I don't know Miles or Gino. So the other 2 decks here, you got 2nd and 3rd place with Humans, 5th place with Izzet Phoenix, 6th place was Colorless Eldrazi, and then you've got Izzet Phoenix again and Azorius Control, rounding it out with the 8th place. So Richie, let's take a look at this Eldrazi Tron list and let us know what they got going on here. So you got the creature base here, which is 3 Walking Ballista, 4 Matter Reshaper, 4 Reality Smashers, 4 Thought Knots, 4 Karn the Great Creator, 2 Ugin, the Ineffable, the NFF, 2 Fs, Ineffable.
You're such an idiot.
And then you've got 4 Chalice of the Void, 4 Expedition Map, 2 Mind Stones, 3 Dismember, and 2 All's Dust. That is a lot of Dismembers, man. That's a lot of Dismembers. That's a lot of...
Gotta kill shit.
Gotta kill Eidolons?
Probably not.
Yeah, you don't really care about that deck because you're running 4 Chalice in the main?
I mean, I don't think you're gonna take 6 damage to kill an Eidolon.
And you got this 1 Blast Zone in here, which is beautiful. You and I are both on the Blast Zone plan, right?
Mm-hmm.
The 1 of Seagate Wreckage. And let's see. That's it for the spicy lands, which is not spicy anymore. Now let's take a look at the sideboard. Basilisk Collar, Crucible Worlds, Ensnaring Bridge. It's all the 1-ofs, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Grafdigger's Cage, Liquid Metal Coating for that good old combo. Michael Synth Lattice, Pithing Needle, Torpor Orb, Walking Ballista, 4 Ley Lines, and 2 Spatial Contortion. I like seeing Spatial Contortion.
I think that card's trash. I've never had a good Spatial Contortion in my life.
Okay. What about Warping Whale?
I like Warping Whale.
I was just going to say, I think this is the Warping Whale-esque spot, for this deck where maybe you'd probably be wanting to play that right now over this card.
Personally, I just prefer a little bit more deeper of a Karn package, but I'm a sucker for, going deep on Karn.
Yeah. I
think the card's very good.
Yeah, so tell everybody about the new plan with Karn when you're playing with Eldrazi Tron.
Yeah, so he was a huge addition to this deck just because now you don't really care about Tron, you don't really care about temples. He just really helps you fill out your curve a lot better than before you had to play Karn Liberateds and a new Lamog in your deck. Yeah, but now
it's very crazy.
You just get to lean your deck down a lot.
Yeah, this deck. Because once you hit that 7 mana, you can do other things. You can just play Karn the Great Creator. You can also play... What else are you playing? Maybe another creature?
Normally, I have a Trinisphere in my sideboard, which I notice he's lacking. And, Karn into Trinisphere normally feels really good and is very powerful against a lot of decks.
Okay.
Makes them only really be able to cast 1 spell while you can cast, multiple. I'm really glad that this guy's playing Ugin. I know a lot of lists are only on 1 or 0. I think 2's the correct number by far on that card.
I think 2 is the number, man. I'm really on board.
Very strong.
I'm very on board with this card being in there, first of all. Second, you and I talked about this before. that this card is just underplayed and undervalued. So
really is.
Yep. All right, so let's go back and take a look at the old burn list because I'm excited to see that.
I'm sure there's so much innovation in burn.
Yes, there's so many new things in this deck. Probably not. 19 lands. Okay, I'm on board with that. You get to play the new Sunbaked Canyon, so I'm sure that helped a little bit this weekend.
Getting baked.
Yep, getting baked. 4 Eidolons, 4 Swiftspear, 4 Goblin Guide, 4 Boros Charm, Lightning Bolt, Lightning Helix, Searing Blaze, 1 Skull Crack in the main. Now, I've been talking to burn players about this lately, and that's been like a continuing theme of they're saying, we just don't run Skull Crack anymore.
Mm-hmm.
We've completely cut it from the list. And the Skewer the Critics has taken that spot in the main board, really. And then you got your Rift Bolt and Lava Spikes. So now let's see if the sideboard had... No, it only had 3 Rest in Peace. So they're going back to that pre-Hogak sideboard list with the 3 Rest in Peace, 3 Path to Exiles, 2 Searing Bloods, 2 Skull Cracks, 2 Smash, and 2 Wear Tear. So that's very cool to see that there's not 4 ley lines in the side of this. Hopefully that's fixed the problem.
Well, the white ones have always been on rip, I think.
Oh yeah, absolutely. But they were running the white list was running what 4 Rest in Peace and like couples not God, what's that 1-drop artifact that exiles graveyards? Relic.
Yeah.
I think they were on a couple relics also.
Yeah,
maybe
it was
even
like
some
3 rip,
surgicals.
3 relic, 3 path, I think.
Yeah, something like that. So that's cool. Yeah, and then there was another deck here. There was a colorless Eldrazi that also took 6th place, and Mr. Champagne, sweet name, Jack Champagne. This list is this pretty standard, Richie? You got your serum, your 4 serum powders, your Simian Spirit Guides, and your Eternal Scourge package with the serum powder, and then you've got the Karn Great Creator package for all the 1-ups in the sideboard with the Mycosynth Lattice Lockout, and the 23 lands. Like, how do you feel about this list versus the last list that we looked at?
Yeah, so this is just like a little more aggressive. It doesn't really go over the top as well.
Now it took 5th place, so that's 6th place, excuse me. So that's nothing to scoff at. So the list has got to be pretty good, and I think mainly what is making all these lists so good is the Karn the Great Creator package, right?
Yeah, he's like fine in this deck. He's not as big as he is in Eldrazi Tron.
Mm-hmm.
This deck really gets carried by like it wants to win die rolls so it can play a Chalice on turn 1.
Oh, okay.
Like Eldrazi Tron doesn't try to play it turn 1, but this deck that's really what it's going for.
Okay, cool. All right, so that's it for Modern, right?
I believe so.
Good. So now we always have where we were sitting and talk about the upcoming events. Not only the past events, the previous events that people did well in, but the upcoming events. So, we just had what we talked about earlier, Detroit, and that was limited, and that was a dumpster fire at 600 people. And then coming up...
Not much to talk about with that one.
No. Coming up, Channel Fireball is going to be doing Standard Denver, along with the following weekend with Barcelona. And the only thing close that we've got in our backyard here is going to be SCGs, right?
That's how it is for the most part, though.
Yeah, so I guess I wanted to take a minute to talk about Channel Fireball before we let you guys know what's going on with SCG coming up. This was something that I saw this weekend, and with it being a ghost town in there, I really think that Channel needs to work on just getting more people into the building. People have a hard time. It's a continuing theme. So I said to everybody last week and the week before, I said, hey, Detroit's coming up. I'm going to see you there, right? And they're like, nope, you're not going to see me there. And I think to myself, like, this is my life. Magic is my life. And, it's not everybody else's life, but it's their hobby and it's their passion. And to hear those people that I interact with all the time to say, no, I will not be going to a Magic event in my backyard. It just really, it makes me sad because, it's something where we all come together and we hang out. It's a community thing. And to know that nobody wants to go to it because these events are being run so poorly, it really makes me step back and think to myself, like, man, I kind of wish Star City was doing events still, because if Star City was doing events, if they were doing the GPs, people would have been like, yeah, man, I'm going to be there. I'm gonna play in the side events. I'm going to play in the classics on Sunday, which they're not classics, right? Did they do classics then at GPs?
I don't think they did them at GPs.
Yeah, I don't think so. But I know just the side event package was just so great. And people, they just didn't want to show up because that is the number one theme that I keep hearing is it's too fucking expensive. And I do not want to continue to pay all this money to drive, hour, half hour to play in these events that I just can't afford. And yeah, you can come and hang out and play with your friends. But if your friends, if they're not there because it's too expensive, you're going to be sitting there by yourself, walking around to vendors, maybe finding a couple foils that you need for your deck, or maybe your LGS has a few cards that you need that they haven't got in a while. But it's just really, really sad to see that, Channel Fireball is not, they're not really taking care of, I don't think, the community of Magic players that they should be like Star City does. Because every single time that Star City has an event that's close enough, whether it be Columbus or Cincinnati, which they don't do anything in Detroit, or even like Pittsburgh, I have everybody that I know trying to jump into a car and get their asses to a Star City event, right?
Yeah.
And
I mean, I literally forgot about Pittsburgh and I put together a team and
within like a week.
No, not even. It was today.
Okay. Yeah. So, it's just it's absolutely unreal, and because I get to see this stuff, I get to see how bad these Channel Fireball events are run, and it just I really hope I hope that Star City is going to be able to come back and they're going to be able to put together something. I know it was over money, but they're going to start to run these GPs again because these numbers are just not good.
Yeah, they just need to get the monopoly off because that's why Channel Fireball can afford to make everything so expensive and take away all these cool things because who's gonna contest them?
Yeah.
So the answer I think still is Star City.
Yeah, I think so too, and hopefully things work out and Star City comes back. But if not, everybody's going to be going to Star Cities and they're going to be moving away from channels. So if Wizards sees that, well, what's going to happen. They're going to offer the package back to them and say, hey, please take this back over. It's just not working out with Channel Fireball.
It was so bad. Zach Allen went to an SCG in Worcester instead of a GP,
which is about a
20. The GP
no,
is
it's 12. It's 12 hours.
No, the GP. The GP for Zach is 20 minutes?
Oh, you're saying to go to the GP.
Because he lives near RIW, I believe.
Yeah, it's about that distance. And then he was like, I'm just going to go to Worcester and win.
I'll just drive 12 hours.
Yeah, and win the SCG, which is cool. Well, not the main event, but the side
the classic.
Yeah, the classic. So for those of you, again, we like to, I never really thought I'd be a proprietor for, trying to help Star City Games out, but I've just got to the point where I really do respect these guys, and I really am happy with how they run their events and what they do, and I understand that their market's a little bit higher, but you don't have to buy cards from them if you don't want to.
You can buy them from onsystemgames.tcgplayerpro.com.
That's right. But they do have an event coming up. It's Team Constructed in Philly, and that's they also have a classic for Modern, Standard, and Legacy, so that's cool to see. And then I will be out in Columbus in...
Wait, you're actually going to go to a Magic event?
Yeah, I'm actually going to play, too.
What?
Yeah.
Who are you and what have you done with Josh Warren? Are you one of them aliens from Area 51?
No, I'm going to be there. I'm going to play. And, of course, that leads us into my deck list. But I don't know if I'll be able to play that deck. I might just play Burn, because that deck is fucking nuts. But before that, so you've got Columbus coming up, and that's a Modern Open. And then you got Richmond. So we'll keep you guys...
Columbus, you got Philadelphia this weekend.
Yeah, you got Philly this weekend.
West Philadelphia, born and raised.
On the playground is where you spent... You did not spend most of your days on the playground.
No, you should have seen me when I went out there for like an hour with Caleb and them.
Oh, yeah, playing basketball?
Yeah.
Oh, my God. You probably look like a tomato. Your face was just beet red. You were just wheezing.
It wasn't that bad, but I think I made a total of 0 baskets.
That's all right. We're not all sports people like me. There's a reason I didn't get invited to that league, but we'll find out next year.
I told him next time we're gonna have a cross store. We'll have Mom's Basement Games basketball team.
Yeah, absolutely. So now leading into what's going on in Columbus in 2 weeks, and of course Phillies this weekend. If you guys are gonna go, I'll be playing.
This isn't Burn.
This is not Burn. Now I wanted to talk about Richie and I's choices of decks as of late. Mine's actually been pretty consistent. I built Boreo's Vengeance on paper. I really like this deck a lot. It was getting a lot of hate through the Hogak times. Now that's kind of slowed down a little bit, but this deck's really cool. So I have 2 Generator Servants, which this list has not been updated. There's only like 2 card difference, but
God,
I went up to a third. I went up to a third. Now, I actually had somebody at the last Wednesday read this card. I sacrificed Generator Servant, and I added 2 mana, and I cast Through the Breach. And he was like, what? He's like, you can't do that. And I was like, yes, I can. And then he's like, he read it, he picked it up, and it says, sacrifice Generator Servant, add 2 colorless mana, period. If that mana was spent on a creature spell, it gains haste. So everybody thought that when they read this card, they think, oh, well, you just add 2 colorless mana to cast a creature spell.
You can only use it for creatures, is what they think.
Correct. No, this card says, make 2 colorless mana. That's it. And look at your bonus.
Look at you, getting people with bulk.
Yes.
I literally don't think we can pick that card.
We cannot pick that card.
I think I've been putting it in a back sock.
Have you?
I think so.
Yeah, it's a really cool card. Hopefully it'll find a home someday other than in Boreo's Vengeance. But for now, we'll just keep it there. The deck also has 4 Simian Spirit Guides, 4 Ilharg the Razor Boar, which, this is a cool thing. We get to run this into our finance. He's at an all-time low right now.
High?
Huh?
All-time high?
All-time low.
Oh.
Bye.
Poor piggy.
I know, poor sweet little bacon monster. And then you've got 4 Grizzlebrand, which everybody, whenever I play this thing and activate it, people always tell me this card should be banned. And so I always look at them and say, well, why don't you play it then? You should be playing banned cards, right? Cards that you think should be banned.
So I played Hogak.
Yeah. 4 Emrakul, the Anus Torn.
Emrakul.
4 Faithless Looting, 3 Thought Seizes. I went down a Thought Seize and went up a Generator Servant. I don't know about having Thought Seize in the main. I like it a lot. It helps to accelerate that early game. Also clears the path, for opposing Path to Exiles and whatnot, stuff like that.
Have you Thought Seized yourself yet?
Yes, I've Thought Seized myself many times. And actually, I had a discussion about that because that's something that players do. You will cast Thought Seize, and they will put their hand down, and they will say, oh, here, take a look at my hand. But whenever I cast the Thought Seize, because I'm a gentleman, I always say, casting Thought Seize, targeting myself. Now, there's some people out there, or should we say scumbags, that'll just drop a Thought Seize with all intentions. It's much like Vendilion Click. Play a click, and then they'll they'll go to maybe change their life total, whatever, if they had to fetch, while letting their opponent drop their hand when your intentions are to click yourself or Thought Seize yourself. So don't do that out there. That's not very nice to your opponent. Also, we've got Cathartic Reunion in here at 2, Collective Brutality at 2, 4 Goryo's Vengeance, 4 Through the Breach, 4 Pentai Prisms to get that turn 3. Yeah, the turn 3 Through the Breach, or turn 3 Ilharg the Razorboard, Mr. Piggy Pants in, to start plowing through.
Or it can be the turn 2 with the Simian Spirit Guide, right?
Oh, absolutely.
And Through the Breach, or not Through the Breach, Goryo's.
Yeah. Yep. Deck's a pretty consistent turn 3 deck, without any, if you're just goldfishing.
Have you pitched a Spirit Guide to play a Generator Servant on one?
I have not. Because I just feel like...
I feel like there's never a situation where that's going to come up and be relevant.
Well, no, because I'm so scared somebody's going to kill it.
Yeah.
And if I pitch a Spirit Guide to get something killed, ooh, baby, am I getting just murdered. But yeah, the sideboard's pretty cool, too. So it plays a 1 of Bosiju, who shelters all. Yeah, shush him. 2 Lightning Axe. I put another Shenanigans in here.
That's just shenanigans.
It is. So we got 2 Shenanigans in the sideboard. I went up to 3 Angers. Anger the Gods. And I came down a Leyline of the Void, so I'm only running 3 Leyline of the Voids.
That seems fine.
And let's see, went up a what did I run 3? I ran 2 Blood Moons, I believe. And then Quicksilver Amulet. I only ran 1 of those, but I think I'm gonna hit a second one because Surgical Extraction is a bitch.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think really what I want to do is I just want to put these creatures into play, post board. I want to bring in my Quicksilver Amulets, just 2 of them, along with the Through the Breaches and the Ilhargs, and then that way I have 10 effects. I can take out the Goryo's Vengeance, and then I believe I want to put back the Chalice of the Voids in the sideboard, because I feel like Path to Exile and Surgical Extraction are just way too powerful against this deck. And so I think you need to be able to say, okay, I'm going to go ahead and, because you're not on the Faithless Looting plan anymore.
Mm-hmm.
You don't want to put things into your graveyard. You just don't care at that point. Same thing with Thoughtseize. Like, you don't need the Thoughtseizes in there, so you just take those out and put other things in. So it's a weird one, but I'm starting to learn a lot more about the deck. And we actually we had a gentleman in the area, Mr. Geoff. He is going to be building this deck. I'm helping him build it on paper right now.
Jeff Me6?
Nope. Jeff, I can't remember his last name right now, but
Not Jeff that works at Pando, though?
No, he plays Commander.
Mm.
Yeah, so super good guy. He saw me play this deck. He's been seeing it online and whatnot and top, and
He's seen it.
Yeah, he's seen it, and I gave him a little bit of push to make this deck. So it's very cool to see that I had an influence on somebody wanting to build something too. So that's pretty
awesome.
neat. Yeah. So Richie, tell us about what list you're going to be playing, and before I get to that, let everybody know that on this Friday I'll be playing this deck on.
Wait, you stream on Fridays?
I do. I missed the last 2 weeks, but it's okay. It's summertime. I'm shining. I'm out summertime shining, and so
you better sing that during your stream now.
I will, but yeah. So the last 2 weeks I've been out, but this Friday at 1:30, I will be streaming this on Mom's Basement Streams on Twitch, and so you guys can check that out. Richie streams Thursday at 6:30.
At 6.
At 6 o'clock. Why do I always say 6:30?
Mm-hmm.
He streams at 6 o'clock, and we've got a bunch of other guys that are streaming for us, and you guys can also, if you miss out on that and you want to look at the decks that we talk about on SoundCloud, you can go to Mom's Basement Games on YouTube, and you can check out those replays. So do yourself a favor and check that out. It's Richie's he's a hell of a player. He's a lot better than me at this game.
That's debatable some days.
Some days, but overall you're a good player, and you're fun to watch, and so yeah, come check us out. But Richie, tell us about the deck you're going to be playing. Oh, this isn't this week's deck, right? Or is it?
It might be this week's deck.
Oh,
I think I'm going to play it.
Cool.
But...
All right. So tell us about it. What is it?
Yeah, so I don't know why. I don't know. Like, everybody gets it. Like, eventually, everybody gets the kick to just cast Cryptic Command.
Oh yeah, that's what you were telling me earlier.
And I've just been on a real Cryptic kick lately. So I found this deck list, played it at FNM. I I didn't even do well, but I just had a ton of fun with this deck. Grixis is super fun.
Let me cut you off for a second. Snapcaster Mage is a hell of a drug.
You're not wrong.
It is a hell of a drug. You know, when you...
What if you could play 6 Snapcasters?
Well, yeah.
That's what I'm doing.
Yeah, Kess.
Yeah.
Dissident Mage.
Card's gas.
Yeah, that card's really gross. But, like, yeah, look. Just, all you gotta do is... There it is.
It is Snapcaster Mage.
Yep. You just gotta cover the black and red up.
For those of you that can't see because Josh is doing it to the monitor and you can't see it on the camera, he was just covering up the black and red mana on Kess.
Yep, there you go. Just blue and colorless. You got there's your Snapcaster Mage.
I should have tried that at FNM. Just being like, look, it's only a blue and colorless.
Just do that next week. But yeah, so you're really starting to enjoy this deck.
Yeah, I think it has a little trouble with like the mono red decks, like the like Burn.
Of course.
But
yeah, somebody was telling me they played this in a side event this past weekend. They're like, I played Grixis and I ran over everybody except for Burn.
Yeah.
And I just went, yeah, I know. This matchup's really bad. Brush my shoulder off. It's really bad for you, man. Just,
yeah.
You know, and you having to run the Field of Ruins along with the Creeping Tar Pits for your mana base, that's really bad.
Yeah. It slows you down,
yeah,
but
it really does.
They get you a lot of points in other matchups.
They do, and so you have to have them because you're not just going to be playing against Burn all day. You're going to be playing against other decks where it matters.
Mm-hmm.
So tell us about your sideboard.
Yeah, so this was just like a stock list I found on. I wish I could remember who it was. I found it off Twitter.
Okay.
But
and this is just basic Grixis control.
Yeah.
Or do you want to call it mid-range? What do you want to call it?
Yeah, it's control.
Okay.
Really, the deciding factor on if you're control or not is typically if you play Cryptic.
Okay.
The card that actually performed the most for me was probably the Factor Fiction in the deck. That card is so good to cast.
Stop.
It's like a 3-for-1.
Why is there a fucking magmatic sinkhole in here at a 6-drop? And please don't try to sell me on this card.
It has Delve.
Okay.
Do you actually know what that card is? Obviously not.
I don't now that you said it has Delve because I was thinking it was a different card.
No. It's the 1 red, 5 colorless instant with Delve, deal 5 damage to a creature or planeswalker.
Okay. I like it now.
Yeah. Card's really good.
I like it now. Man.
I didn't get to live the true Grixis player dream, though. Everybody tells me the best feeling in the world with Grixis is Kolaghan's commanding whatever other mode you want and then getting back a Snapcaster Mage.
Mm-hmm.
I never got to do it. The best I got to do was I was facing the Urza deck, and I shattered his token from his Urza and got back a Vendilion Click.
Ooh, that's cute.
Yeah, it was pretty good.
I like that.
I used the click to tuck a Surgical that was in my hand that I didn't need.
Okay.
So
let me run through this list for everybody listening. It's 4 Snapcaster Mage, 2 Kess Dissident Mage, 2 Narset Parter of Veils, which how good does it feel to play that fucking card?
You know, every single one I cast found another somehow. I don't know how that worked, but it was awesome. And it kind of felt like dig through time, honestly.
Is this card just, can I say it's disgusting?
It's great, dude.
I just don't understand why they're printing cards with this power level at 3. And then those were your 6 creatures, 2 planeswalkers, spells. You got 28 spells.
Yeah. Who needs to win the game if your opponents can't?
Why don't you just jam some Delvers in here too while you're at it? Grixis Delver control. Oh, sorry.
Don't tempt me.
I won't. So 3 Fatal Push, 2 Inquisition of Kozilek, 3 Lightning Bolts, 2 Surgicals, 4 Thought Scour, 1 Dreadbore, 2 Logic Knot, 1 Terminate, 2 Force of Negation. How did that card feel?
So,
did it feel good?
Caleb and I were talking about this because he played it in Esper Hero.
Uh-huh.
Or not Esper Hero, Esper Mentor.
Sure.
And we found ourselves hard casting it more than like actually using it.
Okay.
It was still fine.
Okay.
Like Negate is arguably a main deckable card in Modern.
Okay, so then it's
the exile effect is huge.
Yeah, it's negate with a bonus.
Yeah.
Okay. 3 Kolaghan's Command, 3 Cryptic Command, 1 Factor Fiction, which is a spicy meatball, and then the Magmatic Sinkhole at 1. And then you've got 24 lands. The sideboard, I'll let you go through all of it. Tell us about the sideboard.
Yeah, so the first card is a 1 of Engineered Explosives. It was super good, you know. It's a nice versatile card. can blow up a lot of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
The 2 ceremonious rejections are for your typical colorless decks. Performed really well against the Urza deck that I faced.
Well, obviously, it looks like Tron's doing really well right now, so you're going to need those because this can't be an amazing matchup against Tron.
Yeah. I mean, you got the 3 fields and the 2 surgicals mains. You can try to, get them that way.
Yeah, take them with that. But Karn is he's a 4-drop.
I mean,
you know?
Yeah, but, you can deal with things like that.
Yes.
Kolagon's command is great if they're on the Karn plan.
Yeah.
That card is great. I love me some Kolagon's commands.
Yep.
The Flusterstorm was actually very medium.
Yeah.
I don't think Flusterstorm is a modern playable card, oddly enough.
Can I record that and loop that and then play that for everybody last month when they spoiled it?
Yeah. It just there's so many things that there's so many planeswalkers, enchantments.
Yes. It's not like Legacy where everything is instant or sorcery speed basically, and it really shines in that format. This format, it's very diverse, and I don't think when they spoiled this, I did not say to anybody that, oh my god, Flusterstorm got printed. This card is going to be insane.
Mm-hmm.
I was just like, Flusterstorm. All right, whatever.
All right, cool. Next.
Yeah, next.
I think it might become a Dragon's Claw. I looked at a couple lists online, and they had a Miser Dragon's Claw on the sideboard, and I don't hate that.
Yeah, or Vampiric Link, or not Link, Vampiric.
I think it's Link.
Is it Link?
I think so.
Yeah. All right, so you had 2 spell bombs in there, Nihil.
Couple Thought Seizes, Never go home without your Thought Seizes. That's
always
what I've learned. The 2 Young Pyros were actually really nice. It was nice to just have an early threat to play that can also gum up the board.
Okay.
The Angers were pretty good,
Okay.
Cleaned up small creatures. The Ashiok was sweet.
I love that card, man.
Card's really good.
I love that card.
I've been close to playing Shadow of Doubt in Modern.
Yeah.
And this is a better Shadow of Doubt.
Yeah, Ashiok Dream Render is a very, very...
It's a Shadow of Doubt with a Relic of Progenitus.
Yeah.
Well,
it's
like
just
a Tormod's
Yeah,
card.
it's just a bonus.
Yeah.
Card's so good. Then you had how is it Staticaster feel?
I faced Elves. It was great.
Oh, God.
I got shit on by Elves, too, still, but,
Oh, okay, so you didn't draw it?
No, I did.
Okay.
They were playing main deck Veil of Summer.
Okay, what's that?
It's the new 1 green instant from M20 that you can't be targeted by blue or black spells.
Okay.
Your spells can't be countered. Your creatures can't be targeted by blue or black spells. And you draw a card.
Oh, okay.
So I had a really nutty Kolagon's command game 1. He was stuck on lands. I went to kill his Llanowar Elf, make him discard. He cast that, and I lost the game after that.
Dang. That's rough.
Yeah, so that was interesting.
Okay.
Then
you got the 1-of click in the side.
Yeah, I could see that also becoming another Dragon's Claw or something.
Yeah, something to help you
out. But
against
a
those
click is
matchups.
always nice to have.
Yeah, so you could probably cut that Flusterstorm, I'm guessing.
Yeah, the Fluster's for sure gonna go.
Yeah, maybe the click. If you really feel like you need a click in the 75, you could probably put it in the main board, to be honest. Right?
Yeah, maybe. I could see it.
Yeah.
It does work pretty nice with Narset.
Yeah. Well, cool. So hopefully you do play this week. Like I said, check us out at Mom's Basement streams on Twitch. And Richie and I will be playing this week. And, check us out every week if you can. Give us a follow because we are doing our giveaway this month. And it's just for our followers. We will be giving away a box of...
Where'd we go?
A box of Guilds of Ravnica.
Oh, there we are.
There we are. So
they can barely not tell the difference.
Yeah, so for those of you watching, you guys can see this, but for those of you listening, we've got this little the harmless kitten.
Harmless offering.
Harmless offering. As the back picture
Kitty!
There. You're gonna blow people's eardrums out. But yeah, so just give us a follow. Also, we've been really working on our God, what is it? Our Patreon.
Patreon.
Yeah, go check out our Patreon too. We're getting that going. We're gonna start building content for that. I'm actually I'm pretty proud of that. Those are some things that we're just gonna be giving back to the community and trying to support everybody, and while you guys also support us. So it's really cool. I like it. And and I think it's something that we should have done earlier. We've tried starting on it back a couple months ago, but there's just so much going on. But yeah, check that out too. And then you guys, you can support us. You got another chance to win our giveaway. So we're just trying to get people to collect their giveaways.
Yeah, that's the next step.
That is the next step. We've been whispering when people win. We whisper them and say, hey, come get your prize. But we don't hear back from these people. So
nobody wants to whisper sweet nothings into your ears.
these giveaways are just sitting here. So please do yourself a favor and come get your getaway.
Yeah, there's one person whispering still though.
Who's that?
Hogak.
Hogak is still whispering in everybody's ear for sure. Hogak is still around now. I think this will probably be the last week we talk about Hogak. I'm guessing.
Maybe we'll see.
I hope
Maybe
so.
It does well at an event. Who knows?
Yeah. But Hogak is still 5-0ing online, and we wanted to let you guys know about that. So if you guys are intending on staying on the Hogak train, or maybe you thought it was dead and you're saying to yourself, well, shit, it's 5-0ing online. Maybe I should take a look at this. We wanted to let you guys know that for those of you that love the deck, because what they did was they took the bridge out that got banned, and they jammed in 4 Hedron crabs.
Yeah, they changed a little extra.
They did, but this was kind of the main staple that went into the deck.
I would say the Hedron crab became the altars more than the bridges.
Okay.
The bridges became the prized amalgams, I think.
Okay.
It's kind of like the extra, in your graveyard payoff.
Okay. So Hedron crab, for those of you that don't know, which that would be crazy if you didn't know what Hedron crab is, but it is a card that
modern mill staple
really shines in mill. Yep, and it is a 1 blue 0/2 with landfall that says whenever a land enters the battlefield under your control, target player puts the top 3 cards of his or her library in his or her graveyard. So
target Josh Warren.
Yes, target me. But you got to point your finger at me so you don't get any extra information, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's a pretty solid card for the addition to the deck with missing. You're able to get those 3 cards in there that you need, and then also the addition to the deck was prized amalgam, like Richie said. And then there is a couple little spicy nuggets in here. There's 2 claim to fames in the main board. So Richie, tell everybody why claim to fame is in here.
So it's another way to trigger prized amalgam with the claim side of it, because the creature does come from the graveyard to the battlefield.
Mm-hmm.
And it's also really funny to give a Hogak haste.
I was just thinking that, man. I was like,
just the old 10 ball.
Yeah, the old, hey, so I'm gonna claim Hogak back.
Well, you can't claim Hogak.
Excuse me. Fame him. Right?
So yeah, you could claim your Gravecrawler if you don't have a zombie.
Yes,
or
you're gonna fame him.
You could claim your Stitches Supplier, mill 3.
Ooh, the value.
Which would then help fuel the delve for Hogak, and then you could fame Hogak.
Got it. Okay. Yeah,
Make him look all nice and purty. Make him famous.
So this deck is still around. It's still very powerful. Hogak is a very powerful card. And so I have a question though, Richie, and this is really actually an important question.
Okay.
Do you think this list takes over for Dredge itself?
No.
Okay. Why not? Do you think just Dredge is just too powerful on its own? It's a different style of deck.
I think Dredge is more consistent.
Okay.
I think Dredge can fight through hate a lot better than this deck.
Okay.
And Dredge has what made Hogak good, a non-combat win condition, which is just the, creeping chill, conflagrate you out of the game.
Yes. Those are 2 very, very powerful cards that are not in this list. So, all right, good. Now we're going to move on to finance, which we like to let you guys know every single week. What's going on? What are the price updates? What are the changes? What do you need to buy? What do you need to pass on? And this week, of course, we talked last week about on the podcast that there were some bannings. Iona got banned. Also, what was the other one that got
Paradox
banned?
Engine.
Paradox Engine got banned in Commander, along with Bridge from Below in Modern. So those 3 cards are going to, whenever you have a banning, those 3 cards are going to shake up what's going on, not only in the meta, whatever format they were in, but it's also
in your aunt's pants.
That's true also. But it's going to change prices, so you guys need to be aware of that and know what's going on, so that when you find out, like you did this past week, and you said, "Oh my God, I could play Painter, Servant, and Commander. I need one of those," and you come up and ask me about that, well, I'm probably not going to have those because those cards are insane to find. It was much like Mycosynth Lattice. Once Karn came out and the combo hit, I had about 10, I'd say about 10 people ask me for Mycosynth Lattice in a week. Maybe a 2-week period, but there was a lot. And it's very difficult to find these cards because everybody's holding on to them, or the price is just so high on them that you just don't want to buy it. You know, you want to trade for it.
These cards are too damn high.
They are. So Painter Servant's back, and he's at $45.45. He's up 286% this week. And so if you are...
That's too high.
It's way too high. So if you guys are thinking
He actually peaked above 60, it looks like.
Yeah, he did. He peaked out at $62.
On July 9th.
Yes, and you know, people were buying them at $62.
Why?
Because maybe they thought, I hate money. Maybe they also thought, well, I might as well get them at 60 because I could have got them here at 59. So I'm going to get him at $62 before he goes up to $80 or $100.
And they need that Painter Servant to look good in their smoke jacket pocket, right?
Yes, absolutely. So Painter Servant's up. He will come back down. Just give it some time. And, hold fast on picking him up. I think last week I said make a proxy of him if you can't get him. I believe that's what I said.
Mm-hmm.
So continue to do that. Try to do your best to trade for this card. Now, it was in a set that didn't get opened a ton. Shadowmoor. But there's a lot around. So, and
what goes around comes around.
What Wizards of the Coast will be doing is they will in the future reprint
Shadowmoor revised.
I don't know about that, but they will reprint this card.
Okay.
So,
what about this card?
Storage Matrix. So,
we're in the Matrix, Josh.
This is not being in the Matrix. This is being in some weird, I don't know. So, Urza Lord High Artificer is changing a lot of things. We talked about this deck last week, about how good this deck is, about how I keep losing to it. Richie, you've lost to this deck also.
No, I lost with this deck.
You lost with this deck a lot? Okay.
Chess timers are great for infinite combos.
No, they're not. No, you just need a little bit more time.
Moto.
Yeah, you need a little bit more time with the timer. So
also, shout out to you, opponent, that wouldn't concede when I had Urza with Thopter Sword in play. You're the best.
Fuck you, beat me, right? That's it.
I guess.
So, Storage Matrix
needs real practice,
Yeah. Storage Matrix is a weird one. As long as Storage Matrix is untapped, is the key thing here. Each player chooses artifact, creature, or land during his or her untap step. That player can untap only permanents of the chosen type. So, Lord Hard High Artificer says that you can tap an untapped artifact to add a blue. So once you tap this thing, you turn it off and you don't have to take its side effects. Yep. My guess is like trigger on the stack or something like that or whatever. I don't know how they do it. It does say...
no.
Oh, it's just untap. No, it's just a static ability.
Yeah, you just tap it at your opponent's unstep.
Yep, just a static ability. So that's pretty cool. That card's up to $10. That card will come back down.
Wait, did that say Legacy and Vintage?
Yeah, oh yeah. I mean, Vintage, I'm sure that he is seeing a ton of play in Vintage.
Is he seeing Legacy play?
Yes.
And what?
I told you already. He's taking over that spot where you could play the black-blue... God, what is that guy called? You play Mox Opal and the sword combo.
Tezzeret,
Tezzerator.
I think Tezzeret's better.
I highly doubt that. I highly doubt Tezzerator's better than Urza.
Tezzeret says you can do shit when you don't gotta win, it digs you for your combo.
Sure. Now, the other big surprise, which I don't know if you guys would know this is a surprise or not, Grindstone.
Hey, also, Siggy Stardust.
Hey, howdy. Grindstone is up to $28.51 this week. So you are going to see a reflection in that due to Painter Servant, because once you get the one piece, you need the other piece. So pretty simple. It did spike. Grindstone did spike to 32. Looks like $32.
38.
$38. So, and it's already again.
Can you tell numbers?
I can. It's already starting to come back down. So, do yourselves a favor. Hold off on that. It's going to be coming back down. My guess is sub $20. I think it was what, like $8 or some shit, right? Was it at $8.99? There you go. So before the jump. $9.99. Now, the gentleman here is talking about Painter Servant, Grindstone, being a thing in Legacy. It is a thing in Legacy. Now that Karn the Great Creator got printed, this deck is seeing a lot more play. I actually did lose. This is one of my losses when I could have 4-1 my Burn League, but I ended up 3-2ing because I didn't kill the Karn. I didn't double bolt the Karn.
Can't talk crap about this deck again. Notably, why is this list not playing Chalice of the Void?
Because it has so many 1-drops in there, dude. God, where are they at? Welder's a 1-drop. Of course, Red Elemental Blast is a 1-drop. And Light and Tutor, Pyroblast. So you just have so many 1-drops. Yeah, you can't play Chalice in this list. I mean, you can, but you got to reformat it, and it's going to be a little bit wonkier, you know? But, yeah, so if you're a Painter Servant Grindstone fan in Legacy, hey, there you go. The deck is a little bit more playable these days.
Tell your brother.
Yep, he used to play it. Now, we'll talk about the cheap pickups this week. We did talk about one earlier. It's Ilharg the Razor Boar at $5.99, which is crazy because this little guy started off at $20.
How much did you pay for yours?
I think I paid in the $11 range, which was, yeah, a couple months ago. I picked him up at like the $10-11. But he is really cool. Again, we went through it earlier. He's a great addition to Modern. I think he's a great addition to Legacy. I just don't think we've seen a whole lot of him yet.
Mm-hmm.
And he's even seen a little bit of Standard play, right?
Got a playset for free of the
Ilhargs? Got the playset for free. Hell nice. Yeah, that's good. So yeah, do yourself a favor, pick that card up, please. Brushland. I don't know why Brushland is at an all-time low at $5.
My guess is like the Eldrazi decks that used to play it aren't really as popular.
Yeah.
You have like plenty of other like replacements for it in like your mono white Eldrazi. You really only need it for like the Bant Eldrazi lists.
Yeah, it looks like it was at $5 for, basically its life, and it's down to maybe this guy just didn't have anything else to talk about here, but I mean, since February this card's been $5.47, and now it's $5.03, so maybe he just...
That's a record low!
Yeah, I guess that's a record low for him. It's like, 44 cents cheaper.
If you're sitting on, hundreds of Brushlands,
Yeah, he's like, oh, I gotta finish up this, whatever it is. What is this called?
An article?
No, it is an article, but the weekly winners and losers portion of the article. Maybe he's like, all right, I'm done. I don't want to deal with this anymore. Brushland, okay, that lost 43 cents. Let's put that in there. So the other one that's pretty cool is Leovold, Emissary of Trest. This card, yeah, this card's really fallen out of favor. Not only can you not play it because it was banned in Commander, you can no longer play it in Legacy because it just doesn't make the check pile list anymore. There are more powerful cards. Richie, what took the place of Leovold and Emissary of Trest?
So there's like 2 cards. One is Renin 6.
Yep.
The other is just Narset.
Okay.
It's just an easier to cast Leovold that dies like harder.
Yeah.
Like a Planeswalker is harder to kill than a creature.
Yep. So the just Leovold's just he's gonna be out of favor for a while unless he finds a new home. I think
or
we
if he
will
gets
see
printed
him
into Modern.
Yeah, if he gets printed into Modern, which would be weird. I'm not sure that that's going to be a possibility, but it could be. They've done some stranger things. But he used to be at, in January he was at $17, and now he's at $9. So we'll see what happens with him.
He's going down,
down. Baby, he's going down, swinging. He's not really going down swinging.
Number one with the bullet.
So that's finance for this week. And as always, please, you guys that are out there, follow us. If you do follow us, you can see down here, hey, look at that. It's a new follower. It'll just put your name on there whenever you're following us on Twitch.
What's this follower's name, Josh?
Joe Rook 68. I got to go in there. This happened this weekend. So I got to go in there and like it and thank them. And also, if you hit us up on Twitter at MomSpaceandMTG, or at RichardTMTG,
that's me.
You can follow us and all the rest of the guys, and you'll know when things happen in real time. You guys can come hang out with us. Tell us how good we're doing, how bad we're doing, how handsome.
How long until they can watch the Mom's Racing Games reality TV show, though?
Man, we're working on it. We're probably, I don't know. I think we're about maybe a year out from that. That's gonna be we're gonna be live on YouTube.
We all get locked inside a house.
It's a panic room.
Yeah.
You got to try to get out. Oh yeah. So follow us there, please. And again, we're doing our giveaway this month. All you got to do is follow us. We're really moving up on followers. I'm pretty happy about that. We're getting into the 300 range for everything. God's Willing is a rock star in standard.
Yeah, that card is good.
That card's very, very powerful in Feather, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Feather. I don't know why we didn't see any standard stuff this weekend for Feather. Sig, you're right.
It was in the top 16s and whatnot.
I'm sure it was. But yeah, so we'll have to keep an eye on Feather and see how that goes. But Richie, you got anything for the people listening before we get out of here?
Hopefully I'll see you all in Philly.
You going to Philly?
Yeah, I'm going to Philly.
Excellent. Team constructed.
Mm-hmm.
What is it constructed for?
Standard, Modern, Legacy.
Oh yeah, it's all three. I did read that. I thought those were just the classics.
No, that's both.
Okay, cool. Yeah. And you will see me in a couple weeks. In Columbus. I might be. You might be sitting across from me and wrecking my dome.
That's what normally happens when we play.
It is very.
I hate to break
true.
history.
Yeah. Hey. But yeah, if you guys are listening on SoundCloud, thank you for showing up. Also, if you guys are watching live, Sig, we appreciate you stopping by. And we will be here every Monday at 5:30 on Twitch live. And then you guys can find us on Mom's Basement Games YouTube for any replays that you need. So we will see you guys next. We'll see you this week.
Monday.
Yeah, next Monday here. But we will see you next week on... where are we at next week?
We're here.
Yeah, we're going to be here. We're going to be on at 5:30.
Yeah.
But where are we going to be? We going to be in Philly?
Philly's this weekend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who's on first?
These nuts.
Yay! All right, guys. Have a good week, and we will see you next week.
Goodbye.
Sig, take care.